how much have the both of you guys made in total sales?
I'm at 401 and some odd change K.
$400,000 in sales.
I'm right over 500. Together we're at a little over 900.
He was like, Maddie, I'm gonna make money online. And I was like, yeah, for sure. And he started making money. He was like, you should do this. Like, you would make more than me. I think I had a video doing kind of well, but it was just a salesy video. But then we started doing skits, and I went from making like $8 a day to like 1K. Like,
between the both of us, I made 18 last month and she made 42, and that's my yearly salary.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Social Army Podcast. I'm your host, Bryce, and today I have a true power couple with me who is absolutely crushing it on the TikTok shop game. And both of them were full-time employees at one point in time, one of which has since been able to quit her job, while the other is currently still working and loves everything that he does. So I'm super excited to bring these two on and show you guys a little bit of a taste of what it's like when you can work together and make content at the same time and just watch it blossom. So without any further delay, as always, I want to get them right on stage. Rubio and Maddie, if you guys would, I would love to hear a little bit more about you guys.
Yeah, so obviously I'm Rubio. My name's Alex, but most people just call me Rubio. And then Maddie. Earlier this year, I wanted to learn how to make money online. Figured I was wasting a lot of my time and just wanted to see what other ways I can make money. I just have so much time. I'm a firefighter right now, so I work 24-hour shifts and have 48 hours off. So I mean, it's a lot of time off, and if you don't use it wisely, you just end up wasting a lot of the time. So kind of got into learning online sales and whatnot, and got into drop shipping shortly, and was trying to learn that, and watched a 20-hour free drop shipping course, and got into a little bit of like Etsy things, like making mugs and whatnot, and just trying random little things. And funnily enough, whenever the Chinese New Year hit and they take like a week-long break, it was like the February 10th or something like that, I was like, oh dang, like all the means of everything I can do drop shipping wise is gone. So that was when I stumbled across TikTok shop. And so I joined the same community that Bryce was in, and I was in the same group that Garrett and Alex were in, and they found quicker success than I did. Initially, whenever I found TikTok, I posted my first video and made like 3 sales on my first video. It was a terrible video, and I was like, holy crap, like this is, I hadn't made any money online yet. So I was like, all right, well, maybe this is a avenue of, income. So
I bet that felt so good too, after trying everything you've
I was
done.
confused because how the old TikTok dashboard used to be. I didn't understand it or how it works. So I was like,
right.
It said I had 3 sales, and then I went, it was like today 0, and then tomorrow or last 7 days 0. And I was like, did I make money or not? So, I finally realized I made money, and then I made like $100 in that first week. And I was like, holy crap, like this is insane. If I can just continue doing this, I'll make, $500-$600 every month and whatnot. So
yeah,
went with it, and very quickly was humbled and realized that it was harder than, posting some crappy videos. So I went 2.5 months from there, didn't make much. I had one 6-second video make me like $300. And other than that, I mean, I was posting videos and, swinging and missing. And it was rough going through that period, but
sure.
I learned so much during that time. And at the beginning of May, it just clicked, and everything. I got my first viral video with the Olaf hair trimmer, like right when that was kind of starting to pop off. And from there, it was like boom, 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 boom. And it just kind of went from there, made 12K that month. So I went from, $500 in 2.5 months to 12K. And I was like, holy crap. Like, and I was, just waiting for it to stop. And then the next month it was like 16K. The next month it was a little bit down. It was like 10K. And then ever since then, it's just been up. And then I'll let Maddie take her side of the story from there.
So Alex kind of started this online, like he told me, I think it was January 12th. He was like, Maddie, I'm gonna make money online. And I was like, yeah, for sure. And I supported him, but it's such like a weird concept.
Yeah,
And
it's foreign to a
yeah,
lot.
you just don't really, you're like, okay, yeah, like I believe in
Mhm.
you, but he started making money in May, and he was like, you should do this. Like, you would make more than me. And I was like,
He's not
you
lying.
know, and so I started on like a little loophole account, of course.
Mhm.
And I think 2 weeks I posted probably like 10 like crappy 6-second videos in like leggings, and I made like $30. And I was like, wait, I can make money off of crappy 6-second videos. And so after my loophole got botted, we banned. We started on another account, and I was able to make probably like $100, $200, or I made like another $100, $200. And we kind of had a conversation because we have a dream life, of course, everyone does,
Sure.
and it didn't align with how was working at the time, because I would work. I mean, technically, I was like full time, 40 hours, but I would drive 45 minutes to another city to
Oh
work
no.
in this
Yeah, that commute
bakery.
doesn't work.
And I wanted to be a bakery manager at Publix, and that's just such a time suck. And I was there every weekend, and it was just a lot. And I was always tired, and I would wake up at like 3 a.m. And it did not align with what we wanted in life. And so he was like, you should quit your job. And we had talked about it for like, it had been like a topic of discussion. Every once in a while he would throw it in, and I would kind of be like,
No.
yeah, sure, like no.
Right.
But I
That's
kind
a
of had,
scary thing to do. I mean, that's
Mhm.
terrifying,
It
especially
is,
when that's your livelihood. I mean, that's
yeah,
quitting your job and throwing that out there, especially when you haven't taken off somewhere else, is
yeah.
a terrifying
I
thought.
was like, I can't even make my car payment on the money I've
Right.
made so far.
Right.
But one night it kind of just clicked, and I had a realization because he brought it up again, and everything clicked in my head. And that night I decided I was going to quit my job. Um, it was the most surreal night ever, and I had only made like $300, but I had him as like evidence. Like, he was
Sure.
like, if we do this together, like we could have our dream life.
Right.
And so I put in like it ended up being like a 3-week notice. But thankfully in that time, kind of, I had a video kind of semi pop off. It got up to like 900,000. And I think in June I made 1.5K, and then that was just kind of enough for it to be like I made the right decision, because
Right.
when I put my notice in, I hadn't made anything yet.
Right.
Um, and so from there, July, I made like 2.5. I was kind of trying like talking videos, but I've never done I didn't even do like TikTok dance videos as a teenager. Like I've never touched TikTok,
Right.
really, besides scrolling on it like a lot of people do. But I was trying to do talking videos. I'm not the best on camera because it's so foreign to me. So they weren't great, but we started the skits, and I was just able to have, like everyone says, talk to the camera like you're talking to FaceTime. I just couldn't make that connection yet. But when we started doing the skits, and at the end of August, kind of in the middle of August,
It was,
it
I
was in
think
the
the first
middle.
video was August 22nd or
Oh, it
23rd.
was like the end.
Mm-hmm.
I think I had a video doing kind of well, but it was just a salesy video. But then we started doing the skits, and I went from making like $8 a day to like 1K, like in the middle of August at the 15th, because we do like the wins in the middle of the month. I had
Yeah.
made like
Yeah.
$600, and I was like, this ain't enough to pay the bills this month. Like,
Right.
I was paying stuff out of the savings account, and I was getting a little scared. But we started the skits, and it's just been like, because I'm just able to make that connection. Like, I'm talking to Alex, I'm not talking to that camera.
You don't have to
Um,
fake it. You know, it's
yeah,
100%
it's
authentic at that point.
yeah, it's just been crazy. I've gotten a lot better on my solo videos, but it definitely helped me breach like the gap that I had between like just being
Hmm.
able to talk on camera, and then with the skits, I was just able to do it, and it felt
And I'll
really
tell you
good.
something. Y'all skits have created a trend. There's a lot of other couples out there doing a lot of the same. Hell, even me and my wife. I've got a video right now with 300,000 views doing a very similar skit to what y'all do, and it's wild to see. But you guys have actually started something in a wave in that matter. I want to touch on a couple of things. You guys are amazing. First off, I mean, being able to juggle working a full-time job and then taking the risk of quitting because it didn't align with your goals and the dream life that you guys have set in play is not an easy thing to do. When I quit my job, I was still on the fence and I had already made almost $100,000 on TikTok, but it was still extremely difficult for me to quit my job. You quit only making $300. Like, that's wild. Yeah. But you did it with the right intentions because you knew going forward, you were going to make sure that you did everything in your power to make this work. And you have. Yeah. Now, real quick, how much have the both of you guys made in total sales? Not commission, but total sales since you guys have been doing this and since you quit? You told me right before we got on stream, but I want everyone here to understand this.
When I quit, I was probably at like 1K GMV, like somewhere around there, maybe 800. But now I'm at 401 and some odd change K.
$400,000 in sales in 2 months' time.
Basically, yeah.
And I'm right over 500. So, together we're at a little over 900.
Almost $1 million in sales since you guys have started doing this together.
Yeah.
That is absolutely insane. Aren't you glad you quit your job now?
Oh, I am. I say it all the time. I'm like if I suddenly wake up at 3 a.m. because I worked in the bakery, so we got to start the bread early. I'm like,
and drive 45 minutes.
And drive. Yeah, it was like 45 to 50. It was a lot. Insane. Yeah.
I used to work on the road and we used to build wind turbines, and the nearest place to stay outside of a trailer park in the middle of nowhere was always an hour away from site. So I understand getting up 4 a.m. and having to drive all the way out there, that I hated that. And we'd work 16-hour days. It just was not worth it. So that's amazing. I mean, almost $1 million in sales. I mean, realistically, in just a couple of months' time, between the both of you is absolutely crazy. And I love to see it. And you guys, correct me if I'm wrong, but you guys are barely into your 20s, right? You're still really, really young.
Yeah, I'm 20 and he's 22.
Yeah, right. So that's crazy. You're barely past the legal drinking age, and then you're not even there yet, and you're already making this kind of money. I love to see that. And the fact that you have such a strong head on your shoulders, you have goals, you know what your life wants to look, you know what you want your life to look like, and you're actively working towards it, says a lot about who you are. And that's why I said in the beginning, you guys really are a true power couple with this, because without one or the other, you wouldn't be where you are right now. Yeah. And it's insane. It's so cool. And the skits that y'all do, they feel so real and so authentic, and it's just so subtle in what you do, but it makes it feel like, oh, they're just talking to each other and showing this stuff off. And then at the very end, you point down there at the bottom. And by the way, you guys can get it here. I love that. It works. So in that total, almost $1 million in total sales, you guys have made close to what, $200,000 in commission, or 170, somewhere in that range?
Yeah.
Right. So that's great. I assume, and correct me if I'm wrong here, a lot of that stuff is probably put in savings, ready to start building your dream life, right?
That's
awesome.
I haven't really spent much. We've done I think the biggest thing we've done is we built a home gym, and it's
I'm so jealous of y'all's home gym.
Super, but it's everything else is invested.
Yeah, right. And that was something that we both have dreamed about for a long time, and it does save us a ton of time, which is a big thing. It's we wake up and we
$100 a month saved.
Wake up and go in there, do our workout, and we come out, and we're making breakfast, eating, starting work a lot quicker than when we would be driving to the gym, because it just turns into a whole thing.
Right, and also you can film yourself at your house. You can do your skits, because a lot of your skits. Excuse me.
They're in the gym.
In the gym. I love it. And it's right there in the comfort of your own home. So it's not awkward. You've really set yourself up in a spot that works, which is great. Now, Alex, real quick, you said you're a firefighter, right? I'm sure you dreamed of doing that as a kid, didn't you? Wasn't that something you really wanted to do growing up?
Yeah, it was always, in my mind, and I was never good at the school thing.
I feel you there.
Did not like school, and my thing is whenever I was in school, I was just always I feel like I'm learning a bunch of stuff that I don't want to apply to my life. I totally agree with career paths that need schooling. But for me, I kind of had the idea of what I wanted to do, and kind of was on the path of like, I'll figure it out at this age of like taking it a step further than just a W-2 job. But
Right.
yeah, initially it was, I wanted to be a firefighter, and that's why, I've been a firefighter for 3 years now. So I got out of high school, jumped in EMT school, and then jumped into fire school, the accelerated course that I could take or program, and got hired almost immediately,
That's awesome.
thankfully. And, it was something I knew I wanted to do.
I'm going to be honest with you too. Having your schedule 24 on, 48 off is perfect for this because you're not
Yeah.
living at work. You know,
Mhm.
you're there for 24 hours, which all in all is 3 8-hour shifts, which is
Mhm.
basically 3 days of work for a normal job anyway.
Mhm.
And you're able to spend 48 hours at home, say, half of that you're sleeping. That's fine. You still have a whole nother 24 hours of being able to create content and batch
Yeah.
record as much as you need. So
Mhm.
I think that works out perfectly on a work balance when it comes to doing something on the side. And you're killing it. On shop, you're probably making way more money than what you're making,
Oh,
there
yeah.
in that
Yeah.
way. But you're still doing something you love on the side. More and more, I'm starting to see other people who are excited to not only have their day job, but also be able to do this on the side because it builds their future while they're still doing something they love, and that's amazing to see.
Yeah.
It really is. So, outside of all the crazy success that you guys have had, what have been some of the benefiting factors to finding this success? Did you guys, I know you and I were a part of the same group in the past, and since, I've created something separate, and we've all kind of migrated to the community that we've created here at Social Army. Has that been a big play in everything that you guys have been doing recently?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Um, I I definitely learned a lot like going through the course and especially like the case studies. Because
Mm,
like I was saying earlier, I didn't have like the camera, like I just couldn't talk on the camera. And definitely watching like the case studies and like some of the breakdowns and stuff helped kind of turn those gears in my head
sure.
um to especially I think Ashley's case study really helped the way she just was able to pick something up and just talk.
She's
Just
so
seeing
outgoing,
that,
it's insane.
yeah, seeing that other perspective and stuff like that, and just seeing everyone's perspective definitely helped me because I was very much when I came home and started to learn, like I didn't do much research and learning before I quit. I was listening to calls and stuff and trying, but I just didn't have like a ton of time trying to record and learn. But I would spend, a couple hours recording and then try to watch as much as I could every day. And it definitely helped me progress to
That's good.
the
And
next
sometimes it's
level.
hard too because you guys make, aside from your skit content, y'all make separate styles of content. So it's kind of difficult to learn from one another when you can't relate to your partner's style of content. So finding
Yeah.
somebody you can relate to is huge. That's why those case studies are so powerful because
Mhm.
there's all walks of life doing them, and whenever you find somebody you can relate to, it makes it a lot easier for you to grasp the concept of creating content in a way that's comfortable for you. Because it's kind of difficult. Filming yourself is not easy in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
It can get really awkward sometimes
Yeah.
because you're just
Yeah.
talking to the
Yeah.
camera. So,
Yeah. My first videos, I'll go back and look at them just as like a victory in my head because I'll look at them and I'm like, man, what? Those are terrible. Like
right, I
I'm
do the
sitting
same
there and I'm so
thing.
serious, and I'm like,
Yes.
this is blah blah blah, and I'm like screaming at the camera, and I'm like, what are you
right.
doing? And
Yeah.
then I don't know, it was just one day, it was late in April, I started doing decent with that like 2-pack air purifier, and I just one day I was
The
like,
little 2-pack air purifier.
yeah, they're in the other room. They're like the white ones, and you can put the
Oh yeah,
essential
yeah, yeah,
oils
yeah,
in
yeah,
the
yeah, yeah.
top. Yeah, so I don't know, one day I remember when I realized it is I was holding the camera and I was like, all right, just act like you're talking to one of my friends. So I was
Right.
like, all right, let me just try it and, just put myself in the headspace, and it worked. And I got, a few sales, and I was like, okay, sweet. And from like the backside of April, I made like, 300, 400 bucks right before the whole May thing happened. And I was like, okay, like it's starting to click. And then once it started to click for one product, it was like every product just, I was able to pick it up, and talk like I'm talking to my best friend or Maddie or
Yep.
my mom or whoever I'm kind of envisioning. I forget exactly who said it, but they said picture who you think would buy this product and speak to them, you know? So
Yep.
like if it's a product that I think she would do well or my mom or something like that, I'll just be like, you know, I'll in my head kind of be like, okay, mom, like let me just, you know, show you real quick what this product is and be genuine about it. And that seems to work a lot better than, you know, going and being like, you know, you need this and blah 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 and you know, all the
Yeah.
craziness about it.
Yeah, he was showing me some of his older videos, and they were like kind of aggressive.
Yeah. I
They
don't
are,
know.
and you cringe when you watch some of your older stuff too.
Oh yeah,
I was
big
going back and dude, I found a page that I forgot I had, and it was banned in the very beginning because this was like February time.
Mhm.
But I was doing the same thing. I was like screaming at the camera, being super aggressive, and I was like, why did I think this would work? Like this is not at all the way this needs to go. But there's something about the authenticity that people can read and people can sense and people can feel. When they feel as if you're being over the top, over dramatic, or just trying to be a sleazy salesperson and sell them something they don't want, they're gonna skip right past and they're gonna know it. But if you're being authentic and it feels like you're carrying on a conversation with somebody, they're a lot more likely to stay and watch the video. So it's you just really got to be careful about how you curate content, and make sure you're being mindful of the people that are watching it, because nobody. I say this all the time. People are not on TikTok to be sold. They could care less about what the hell you're selling. They don't want to see it in the first place. Your job is to convince them that they need it. And by doing that, you have to make it fit seamlessly into their For You page experience so it doesn't come across as a salesy style of a video. People don't like that. And if you can do a really good job at making it fit into their current experience on that For You page and subliminally sell them something, they're going to feel a lot more comfortable and they're going to trust you a lot more and probably go through and buy that product.
Yeah, and that's why I always tell people to only focus on products that you genuinely like. And that was
Yeah.
the
Passion
biggest
products.
issue that I was stubborn about and didn't listen to
Mm-hmm.
people telling me. And I spent a lot of money, probably just shy of $1,000 on different products in that 2.5 month span because I didn't know what I was doing. I was buying lemon turmeric soap when I don't have good skin. You know, it's like that product is never going to work for me. But
That product was so
with,
viral too, though.
oh, yeah. And I'm like, oh, yeah, let me do this. And, you know, let me just ridiculous products.
Right.
And
Yeah.
I'm like, why, looking back at it, I'm like, you know, you can see straight through somebody when they don't actually like the product. And that's
Yep.
why, like I said, I preach to people get a product that you genuinely like. And that's why getting products initially, and I looked back at this to my first video that got sales, is look for products around your house that you might own because that's a pretty telltale sign that you like the product because you're willing to spend your money on it and you use it. So use those products that are in your house because you're going to be able to truly give off the, you know, the vibe and the authenticity that you do like the product. And the product I made that like $100 on initially was this little pet
Chom
hair
chom.
roller. Yeah, the
Yeah.
Chom Chom roller for like pet hair,
Fur.
and it works amazing. So like I didn't have to lie about it. It was a terribly structured video, but
Sure.
and the audio was horrible, but you know, I was able to obviously talk enough well that people saw it and were like, "Oh, you know what? Like it actually looks like a good product. I don't feel like
Right.
this guy's trying to scam me on something." But for me, like I take supplements every day, but I don't know a lot about it and I'm young. And I feel like the people who do best with supplements are a little older people just because it's a little more trustworthy. So it's like for me, I was trying to do like the vitamin D3, the K2 and the collagen stuff like that because it was number one for months and
Right.
it just never worked. I sold like one of them and I made quite a few videos, but it's like I'm sitting here and I'm trying to fake something. You know, I'm just
Right.
replicating the structure of somebody else's video, but it just doesn't work for me, you know. But if I just take all that time and energy and put it into things that work, and like Maddie's in a pretty specific niche, but it is
Very.
still able to do $40,000 in 1 month because it's a good niche to be in, and she can be completely authentic about it.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah.
On like it's gym clothing is
Yeah, that's what I was going to ask
for
you.
everyone.
That niche that
Yeah.
you're in, it's always leggings or like gym attire in general, and not
Yeah.
just leggings, but like the compression
The
style ones as
shorts
well.
and
Yeah.
the athletic jacket. Um, but I just
Uh,
feel like it's one of those things that I buy so much gym clothing
right.
before this. I mean, that's the one thing I would spend my money on is gym clothing. So it's
Did you
definitely
just say you did a $40,000 month with that too? Is that what I just heard?
43,000 in September
$43,000. That was your big. What
on
what
gym
what month was
clothing.
that?
Last month, September, which
September.
is more than I would have made a year at the job I quit.
What's
In a full year.
the craziest thing about
That's
that
crazy.
is between the both of us, I made 18 last month and she made 42, and that's my yearly salary as a firefighter. You know,
Right.
working 256 or two over 200 hours a week, whatever it comes out to. But you know, it's just insane thinking like at the beginning of the year, and this goes for anybody that thinks they can't do this. I mean, my mom, I've gotten my mom into this as well. And, you know, it took some learning, and it took, you know, she would call me on the brink of tears a lot of times because she's like, I can't, like, this is just, you know, it's aggravating. And I understand that. Like, I went through those 2.5 months of making little to no money, but you have to look at the stories of me and Maddie, Bryce, everybody else who is, you know, a big hitter or whatever you want to call it, and use that as proof. We're all regular people, you know. None of us in
1,000%.
here are actors. None of us are, you know, the people who seem to have really fast success have some sort of social media background. So going into this, I had to download TikTok again as well. I had it like a little bit, but really didn't use it much. And then
Right.
she, same thing, never made
Yeah.
TikToks. My mom teaching her the TikTok, like everything was a headache because she just didn't know, you know. And
She had to
she's,
download TikTok.
yeah, she is now a 3-year-old and a 5-year-old that she takes care of at home. She's a stay-at-home mom, and in August, she made $3,000 commission, and last month she made $4,000 commission. And I mean, just that money in a year's time for my mom and my dad and what they got going on, and they live in North Carolina, but just that little bit of money is such a huge help. And all it takes is just that consistency and just the willingness to keep going when everything seems to be going against you, because you know it just takes that time to learn it and really put the time in. And as long as you don't give up, I mean, truly you can be doing a we're doing very well for ourselves right now, but we get quickly humbled in that win section of Social Army because you know you'll post a win, you'll be like, you know, I'm doing pretty good for myself, and then like the other day or the first week I posted my win for October, and I was like, oh, I'm doing pretty decent for October, and then Sam Jones came in like right after me, and it was like 28K in
Like, we gotta
7
get
days.
back to the drawing board.
And I'm like,
Yep.
oh my gosh,
The
like
whiteboard.
yeah, it's insane.
I did
Yeah.
that mid-month update too, and Allie, she came in with a
Mm-hmm.
$65,000 screenshot in 2 weeks, and I was like, "Ah, shit! All right,
Yeah.
maybe I shouldn't have done this." No,
Same.
Yeah.
it's such good motivation to see that though,
Yeah.
and it's just like you said, you think you're doing well, and then immediately you're like, "Oh shit! There's so much people doing 3, 4, 5 times better than I am,"
Yeah.
but at the end of the day, you're still doing better than 99% of other people anyway. Most
Yeah.
people struggle to make $1 on the internet. And I'm going to back this up to when you said you were doing Etsy and drop shipping and things. For 10 years, I tried doing everything I possibly could on the internet to make money. I told my wife, same thing that you told Maddie, hey, I'm going to make money online. Okay, babe. You know, fine, that's fine. Do you. 10 years. I told her, I'm going to make money online. I'm going to make money online. I'll be a millionaire because of the internet. I'm going to make money online. She didn't stop believing me, but I'm sure she thought I was absolutely insane because I tried everything under the sun. I tried Etsy dropshipping. I tried Pinterest dropshipping. I tried Pinterest affiliate marketing. I tried dropshipping through everything you could possibly think of. I tried SaaS. I tried social media marketing. I tried everything that you could think of to make money online. Hell, I even dabbled in trading stocks and trying to become a day trader because I thought, oh, this will be the next thing, you know? And I failed at every single one of them. Then I made my first dollar on TikTok and I was hooked. And the reason for it is because it didn't feel real. And then I made my first $100. Then I made my first $1,000. Then I made a $30,000 week. And I was like, okay, something is real about this. And it felt so illegal. It didn't feel right. You know, it did not feel right. And you get humbled very quickly thinking that you're doing the best you possibly can. And then someone else comes along and shows a $60,000 2 weeks. And you're like, oh shit, hold on. Maybe I'm not doing the best I possibly can. But at the end of the day, you really got to take a step back and think, wait a second. I just figured out how to make money on the internet. And I just figured out how to make thousands of dollars on the internet when I'm still working a full-time job. It didn't make a whole lot of sense, but I didn't give up. And same with you. You started trying all these other things to make money online because you had a dream, you had a goal. If I would have made the amount of money you guys are making now at your age, I probably would have blew it all on a sports car. But you have goals, you have, dreams of creating a life that you guys want to build together, and you're doing just that. But you've got a really solid head on your shoulders, and you didn't give up when you couldn't make money on Etsy. You didn't give up when you couldn't make money drop shipping. You didn't give up when you did any of that. And you downloaded an app that was completely foreign to you and figured it out because you saw the potential there. And that's extremely powerful. And I love seeing that. But you're doing so much better than a lot of other people out there. And I'm not saying that to make anybody feel bad for that. What I'm saying is you didn't stop. You found a way to push through to do better than all those other people. And for one reason and one reason only, you didn't stop. Most people give up when they don't see that success that they're looking for. Your mom calling you, struggling with all those times, yet she's made an extra $7,000, which can pay for groceries for an entire year for those babies that she's taking care of. She didn't stop. She's doing better than 99% of other people who are out there doing this. The point I'm trying to make here is, if you give up now because you think this is too hard, if you give up now because your video just isn't doing what you want it to do, if you give up now because you're having a bad month, hell, I went from making $40,000, $50,000 a month to right now I've only made $2,000 this month. You think I'm giving up? Fuck no. Why? Because I see the potential in Q4. I see the potential, and I've done it 20 different times. I can do it again. Don't stop at all, please, because this is so insanely insane. It doesn't seem real. And you guys are so young, being able to do this while still juggling a job that you absolutely enjoy. And Maddie, you've officially quit a job that was draining you mentally and physically. And you guys are doing so well. And I have interviewed so many people now at this point. I think I've done over 20 of these. I never get bored of it because I love hearing these kinds of stories. I love seeing this kind of stuff happen. It's amazing, and it's inspirational. I mean, really, if this is the first time any of you guys are watching something TikTok shop related, soak this in, soak this up, take this, be a fucking sponge. Excuse me, I've cussed twice on this and I probably shouldn't be doing that, but be a sponge. This is something to learn from. 22 years old, making a yearly salary in a month's time. And still going. I can't wait to see what you guys have in store for Q4, especially with your niche, Maddie. I think November is going to be the biggest month you've ever seen.
I'm really excited just to keep going, like literally. And it's kind of not really funny to think back, but just thinking back when I quit my job, I was like, I just need to make $3,000 a month. Like my goal was kind of just to average like $10,000 a month.
That's all mine was too when I started this.
Or 5. Like I'm like, as long as I make like a bit more than I made at my job to where I can start saving and like making a future kind of. And now I'm just like, what? Like
this is what I do.
I like kind of had the first probably like month almost of me having like all the 1K days and everything like that. I'm like, like you said, how it feels fake. Like I would wake up and click yesterday and I would be like, that's my like one of the days it was my monthly paycheck for the entire month of when I was at work. I'm like, it didn't feel real because like before, like literally thinking back from that day, I made like 2.5 in one day. Thinking back from a month, because I went a month back and I had made $8 like literally a month before, just $8 in one day because my sales were down. My 2 videos that I had popping off, they were done, they were cooked, and I was, for like 3 weeks it got a little scary, and I was starting to pay the bills out of my savings, and I was like really nervous, and I was pushing a product I didn't like. Secretly, it just wasn't my thing, and I just think it does definitely go to show, like, just keep going, because
Mm-hmm.
you don't know when you post that video and you wake up and you're like, is this real? And it's not $8, to think, like, literally in the span of 2 weeks, I went from making 150 in a week to like 10K.
Yep.
And it's just insane. And all the stories too, like you were saying, it's just crazy. Even like anytime I go in the wins chat, it's definitely
I like seeing all the
inspiring.
wins, small,
Just
big, wherever they're at, because it just
yeah,
goes to show that people are out there proud of what they're doing. And the best part
yeah,
about Social Army and who we are is I don't give a shit if you make $1 or if you make 50 cents or if you make $50,000. I'm going to show you the same support I'm going to show the next person for one reason. We all started there making
yeah,
absolutely nothing, not knowing if this was going to pop off. But one thing that we didn't have was a community as supportive as this one here.
yeah,
The last community I was in was great. I loved it, and it's what got me to where I'm at today, and at least got me started because I was able to pick the brains of very intelligent people that were doing what I wanted to do.
mm,
But it got to a point where we outgrew the community aspect of that. And it got to the point where there was just too much, there wasn't a lot of support anymore. So when we created Social Army, we wanted a place where it didn't matter where you were at. You were going to get shown the same support all the way through. No question is dumb. No question is asked too many times. None of that. We want it to be a place where you feel, I don't like using this term a lot, but I wanted it to be like a safe space for individuals who are learning and also for those who are extremely experienced, because we have people inside this community. We have the #1 TikTok shop affiliate inside this community. We have the #2 TikTok shop affiliate inside this community. And we have multiple other affiliates that have done millions of dollars in sales. And guess what? They treat everybody the exact same as they would treat their friends within that same circle of people, because it's just what it is. I mean, if without that support, you don't have a lot behind you, and it's really difficult to find a place that has that support because people are so rude, and there's no gatekeeping around here. I love it. I absolutely love it. Now, I want to get real quick back on track here because I could talk to you guys about this forever. We're 40 minutes in and I didn't even realize it. But I have a couple of questions for you guys in regard to your videos and kind of like what you do in each one, or how do you set them up? I've noticed y'all's videos are almost the exact same from hook to call to action. How do you know that like, how did you find that? Was it just one day y'all made it and it just popped off?
Yeah, he's kind of the ideas guy, and then we bounce off each other. So usually he comes up with the initial idea, and then we bounce back and forth with it. So he did come up with the idea for skits and kind of the structure.
Sure.
And it's hard. Like, it was just kind of like, he was just like, let's do skits. And I was like,
Yeah, she really didn't want to do it at first. Like I had to.
for the first second,
She
yeah.
was sitting there editing a video on the couch, and I was like, babe, I just been seeing so many videos doing super well doing skits. So like, I feel like if we get really good at this, it could be a great avenue of revenue, Like,
Sure.
and she was like, And what's insane on her account is where we posted all the first skits, and we would have to go back and check exactly, but I know at least the first 6 videos, every single one was over 400 or 500K, and like 3 of them
are over a mil.
Yeah,
One
like
of them's
it
at like
was
3 million.
it was surreal. Like the first 2 and 3 days.
Was that a loophole account or a real account?
Real account.
Real
Yeah.
account. Okay.
This was August 22nd or 3rd, whenever we first posted on her account, and from there it was like, holy crap, like this is real. And I want to say initially, I can't remember if I found a video to kind of find structure off of, or if it was kind of just an idea just to be like, hey babe, if y'all go to either of our accounts and just kind of swipe really quickly, you're going to get super annoyed because like Bryce said, it is like very similar.
Same
Every
door.
video. It's like almost the
Same door, same spot.
every time. But I mean, that's a little lesson to the people who are just kind of starting to get traction and on their first videos, just as your last podcast, why can't I, the dude with the kangaroo, why can't I remember his name? Brandon. If you look at his account, he's doing a ton of the same thing over and over and over again because it works. You don't fix what's not broken. And so for us,
Don't reinvent the wheel. 100%.
yes, exactly. So once it worked, we were like, okay, well, let's rinse and repeat this until it doesn't work, and it was like, for her account, it was insane. Like at first it was just like a million,
Over.
a million, a
Yeah.
million, 500,000, just views after views after views. And it just kept working. So, I mean, we're just going to keep doing the same thing, and
Right.
even now we're mixing it up a little bit,
Yeah,
to just
okay.
try different angles and stuff. And I've been posting a bunch of her on my account because we're like,
It works.
yeah, it works. We can now kind of divide the revenue between both of us because we can post the same similar videos on both of our accounts. And yeah, it's just,
Yeah, but I think I have probably upwards of 10 videos over 1 million, same structure, very similar products. Like it's basically leggings, just different brands or same niche, all of it. And it's the same structure of video. So I really definitely preach the like, if you got a video working, keep going, change your shirt, switch it up just a little bit and keep rolling and keep pumping it out. Like
I
don't
agree.
try to make a new idea if you have an idea working.
Yeah, capitalize off of it as much as you possibly
Yeah.
can. There's a lot of creators that do. Josh, Farmer Boy, Josh Farmer, golly. He did that with the vitamin D3K2. I can't tell you how many viral videos that dude has with that, but he capitalized
Yeah.
crazy off of that. Then you did it again with Nello. Nello was another one he went crazy viral with, but he made the same video like 15 times. And almost
Yeah.
every time he posted, it went viral. You guys have the same exact structure. You bust through that door. Hey, babe, what's going on? And it's immediate attention because it's an audible hook,
Yeah.
it's a visual hook, and it's like, okay, what the hell?
Yeah.
And then you go into straight conversation. I love that because the conversation is what keeps the people there because it's like it's a pure interaction. And the way you move your phone, Alex, when you're doing this, it's like it's POV. You're turning your head, you're moving your phone, like it literally looks like I'm watching through your eyes. And I think that's what helps captivate the viewers so much as well because it feels like they're just watching through a pair of glasses. I don't know how else to explain that, but it feels like they're the ones in conversation without asking the question. And people love POV style content because it's like it's coming from their perspective, which is great. But the way you do it is so seamless. And I don't even think you really realize that you do it as much as you do maybe now, but in the beginning, I don't think that was something you caught on to too much, was it?
so like right at first, not really. And then
Right.
once I kind of started watching the videos back, I realized what I was doing. And actually, on our affiliate page where we kind of talk about TikTok Shop in general, we made a video kind of running through people on how to do skits. And so the second tip we gave in one of the videos, I'm sitting there and I'm explaining just as you said, like this camera is your eyes. When you're recording, I stare at my phone and she's staring at me. And
Right.
she's looking at my facial expression because I'm still doing the facial expressions. I'm, like, what? Like, this is, what? And then I'll, look kind of just as if I were like, these are my eyes. And
Right.
it, like you said, it for the viewer, they feel like they're
In the room.
in it. And when there's, whenever she says a price, I always kind of go like, they're $30, like I'll
Right.
do
Bring it in a little bit. Yeah.
yeah, and it's almost just like a, what factor to it. So, yeah, you can definitely add like a sense of emotion to the way you record it. And it's, again, anybody can do it. It's just.
It's crazy because it's like faceless content, but not faceless content, right?
Yeah.
The main person filming is nowhere to be seen, but the subject of the video is right there. And it's both of you are playing off of each other to make the sale. Again, it makes it feel so real and so authentic. And I love that. And a lot of people struggle to kind of capture that. And it doesn't feel as real. But with every single video you guys do, and I think this is another thing that helps a lot too, you're always in that same room and you're always doing the same thing. You're doing kind of like a fit check of yourself, and he busts in the room and starts asking those questions, but they're not drawn out. You're not asking the wrong questions. You're not asking things that are irrelevant to what's going on. You compliment her. You then tell her, wow, these are awesome. And then you then ask how much they are. And then you ask, where can other people get them? And I think your call to action is one of the most subtle yet effective call to actions ever, because it's so not salesy and not TikTok shop like, right? Where can other people get these? Oh, I'll link it down below for them. And that's the end of your video. It is so simple and so effective, but it works. I mean, hell, you made $40,000 last month doing that on every single video, damn near, you know? And I love to see it. So that's crazy. Have you guys had a crazy viral hook, or has that just always been like the hook that you guys use?
Yeah, I mean, it's different variations of like,
Right.
walking and, hey, babe. And now with unoriginal content, you have to be careful when you batch record. And so we changed like the first kind of words of it, because for the first like month or 3 weeks or so, it was, hey, babe, you ready to go? That was the only thing we said. And we would like use the same outfit, same setup and everything. And it worked for a bit. But once I started posting them on my account, we both got unoriginal content pretty quickly. And so we switch it up. And so now she'll change her outfit. We'll change the angle. We'll change the background. She'll change her hair and just be a little safer about it. But I mean, yeah, for the basis of it is walking and just being like, hey, babe, what's that? Oh, wait, are those, new leggings or whatever? And yeah, I mean, the biggest viral video we have right now is 9 million, and that's on my account. And it's just, it was just lucky that it was on my account, because we posted pretty much the same video on her account. It's just with that style of video for us right now, it's just a matter of time, between when it's gonna pop off and when it's not. And she has video from what?
It was like October 5th, and it's popping today. Yesterday and today, it's just popping off.
What's it at right now?
It's almost at 1 million.
Almost at 1 million. Where was it at before it started to pop off? Just a few thousand views?
I think it was probably at like 10.
10K. Nice.
There.
And for reference, for anybody watching this, today's the 17th of October. You probably won't see this for about a week or two. But from the 5th to the 17th of October, that's 12 days. That just goes to show you videos don't pop off immediately.
No.
Sometimes they do, sometimes they don't. I've only had a handful of videos blow up same day. A lot of the times it's a few days later.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've only had a couple that really popped like that. Like the first few skits we did post popped like immediately, and that was crazy. But even my videos before, the one video I did make a good amount of money. It was on the Gym Reaper shorts. I think it's at like 1.5, but it converted so well because it's just kind of like a sales video.
Discounts and
I just held the discount, and it took like 2 weeks to pop off. But that video made me my first like $600 day, and it's still making me. I got like 102 sales on it so far this month, and it popped off in August.
How much
it took?
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
It took like a week to do anything,
right?
And it's a video that's still making me money into October. So I think it just shows like even a month later, things will just suddenly. I'm like, where's this? Where's this video from? And you gotta like scroll all the way down to the bottom and find it.
It's nice seeing that too, because you're like, oh shit, okay, I'm still making sales on these. I have videos from months ago that still generate me income. My coldest cup videos, I made those back in June. I still make probably $50-$60 a day off of those. And that's
it's just like that.
We're coming up on 4 months of that being out there. Oh, I have a question for you. You post a lot of clothing. What are the profits like on clothing? Is it $1, $2, $3 a sale, $4 a sale?
So a lot of it is kind of 10% now. But I do like the gym clothing. So most of what I'm making off of is OQQ and Gym Reaper. And they have Gym Reaper has like a Discord and everything, and they do like a top 5 performers get a commission bonus for the following month.
10%.
10%.
So you get 20% in total then?
20%, and then a couple of the ones I'm still at like, I think their stuff was like 15%.
Right.
15 to 20 even. So if you are doing gym clothing, that's definitely a good one if you can get into the 10% bonus.
I didn't know Gym Reaper was on TikTok.
Yeah, their shorts have like 40,000 sales almost, I want to say.
Interesting.
But I think the commission went a little down on them, but because I got that 10% more, it makes the difference definitely. And then I have the commission bonus through the Social Army app on the OQQ leggings for an extra 3%, but definitely adds up.
No, 100%. That extra 3%, if you make $100,000 in sales and you're on a 10% commission, that's $10,000. But if you have that extra 3%, that's $13,000 in total. That's an extra $3,000.
That's
That
that's
you know,
exactly what just happened with the video that's at 9 million views was on the OQQ leggings, and
right.
it made me an extra 3K
That's
because I
insane.
that video did well over 100,000 GMV, and
Right.
yeah, I mean just from the higher commission link through Social Army, it was free
That's
money pretty
awesome.
much because
Right. It's an extra
Yeah.
$3,000 you wouldn't have
yeah.
seen. That's crazy.
Yeah.
I love that. That's another
Yeah.
reason why we're pushing those links so hard. For those of you that don't know, we do have an app. I wish I could kind of show it in a little bit better ways on here. But we have an app that we have, gosh, I think close to 2,000 products on now with a 3% higher commission links than what's on the open market. Of course, if you have a deal with a brand where you're getting 5 or 10% higher, that's going to be a lot better. But if you're just using an open market link, they're usually 10, 15, 20%. We can give you an extra 3% on top of that. You just got to go to the app and search it up. If you want to learn more about that, join the community, and we talk about it all the time. But we'll touch base on that probably here towards the end, and I'll give you guys a way to join us. But that's awesome. So outside of all the success that you guys have had, there's got to be some drawbacks. There's got to be some places where you guys thought that maybe this wasn't going to work anymore. Is there?
I felt
Or violations,
like
maybe?
for me, I kind of like when I like kind of started falling off after I quit my job, it definitely did get hard. Just mentally, like I was like, did I really make the right decision? Like I started having those questions, like, I just pay my car payment out of my savings account. Like, do I need to call my
Right.
job? Like I started definitely having those negative thoughts where I think about making the wrong decisions, and it definitely it was a hard. It was like towards the end of July to the middle of August. That was probably like the hardest for me. Is just I was like, crap, what do I do?
For the most part, it's been on the up and up for you guys, though, huh?
Yeah.
You guys have just been seeing a constant increase, huh?
Yeah, whenever I like the kind of word of advice that everything you want in life comes with a price tag,
Yeah.
and understanding that price tag before you get into it is going to help you so much when you are struggling, because
Yep.
you got to understand when you start, it's not Bryce and Farmer Boy and like some of the people that had Amber are the unicorns of this game,
Yeah.
and they found success very quickly, and that's not the story for a lot of people. And understanding that it's going to take some struggles, like with my mom, like she was in tears sometimes because she was like, I want to make this work so bad, I'm trying, but it's just so hard, and it's mentally draining going through that. And I had that 2.5 month process where I was in the same group of Alex and Garrett, like I said, and they both popped off with the same Lenovo headphones that you did around that same time. And so I watched them in the same group learning the same thing I was do. Garrett did like 12,000 or 15,000 in like 2 weeks, and Alex did like 60K.
Yeah, Alex
And
killed it
I'm
with them.
like, I'm looking at my sales and I'm like $4 for the day. And I'm like, man, like this, I'm trying, and just understanding that that's kind of
The name of the game.
yes, the way of the game. You can get lucky early on, and you might just learn it super quickly, and you might be somebody like me who just needs to totally engulf himself in content and a community and the courses and listening back to the courses. Like, I can't even tell you how many times I've listened to the same call recordings, the same case studies, just because for me, I don't learn the back of my hand by staring at it once. I've lived my whole life and I see the back of my hand ever since birth. I
Right.
know it because I see it over and over and over again. It's the same thing with content. You want to just continually see it and learn from it. And once you start to fade away from that, your sales and everything you're doing will fade away from it too. It's kind of a constant thing of learning and adapting and just getting better. So it was tough going through the 2.5 months of like nothing because I didn't have anything to show for it. And my crew actually on the fire department found my account and I had nothing to show for it, and I'm sitting there and I'm like, yeah, guys, I made like $600, like I'm looking like an idiot, and
Right.
I jokes, whatever. And I was like, I need to make this work. And shortly after that was when everything started to pop off. And, shortly after now they're like, I'm sorry, you've made how much, it's like,
Yeah.
times will get tough doing it.
Right.
But this is, you know, online money, entrepreneurship. This is what it's about. And
I think
going through those struggles is you're only going to learn from it, so you just got to take it and understand like nothing is anybody else's fault. You just got to take it and be like, I'm not making money because of me, no other reason than that. And you just got to understand that and push past it and learn from every single violation, every single video that flops, everything. You just got to analyze it and keep going, and
Yep.
you'll get to the point you're trying to get to.
I think people looking in that aren't really doing it kind of see it as just it is a dream life because this is like everything I wanted. I wanted to be at home just working for myself like an entrepreneur. But it's just like anything else. It's hard. There's hard days. There's really good days where you wake up and you're like, holy crap. And then there's bad days where you're like, wow, I've only made, $10 today. Like what's going on? And I think like it's amazing and I wouldn't trade it for the world. And I think once you learn it, it's the easiest money you'll ever make.
Mm-hmm.
But learning it, just like anything else, is a challenge. And even at the top, there's just so many challenges
Yep.
that we haven't even faced yet. But I'm sure eventually, we're gonna have to face more challenges. And
Oh yeah.
it's just like anything else. Nothing is easy, but this is
I
definitely
like
a simple way.
it is, but I like highlighting the ebbs and the flows of this. Right,
Yeah.
I lead this community. I'm the face of it. People know who I am. People also expect me to have every answer under the sun when it comes to why their videos aren't performing, why TikTok's not working, what's wrong with this, what's wrong with that. At the end of the day, I'm doing the same thing everybody else is doing, right?
Yeah.
I'm no different than any of them. The only difference is I have a little bit more experience in this because I've been doing it for a while, but I also have a really good understanding of how TikTok works because I became obsessed. And because I became obsessed, I learned as much information as I could and enough information to teach other people how to do this and make it full time, right? But even the top of the top creators have their bad months. Even the top of the top creators have their bad videos. There's not a single creator out there who every video they post goes viral. There's just not. Yeah. It's not how this works. I've got a better hit rate than 90% of the creators that we have inside the community. But just because I have a better hit rate doesn't mean I make more money than some of these other creators. I have probably more viral videos than Sherry or Amber do, but I also create content in a way that goes viral a lot. Now, Sherry and Amber have absolutely blown me out of the water in terms of sales. But they're also in a totally different market than I am, right? But I have a lot of videos that I can post that'll go viral because I'm really good at pissing off the internet or I'm really good at relating to a specific group of people. And it works. But I have, like right now, I'm at one of my lowest of the lows. I've made, like I said, I think this month alone, I think I've only made $2,000 in commissions on TikTok. Which is insane, right? Because it goes from making those crazy big months to now having an absolute shitter of a month. But it is what it is. It's ebbs and flows. It'll pick up next month. It'll pick up the month after that. I know it's going to come. But to kind of add to that point that you had mentioned earlier, the path that you're on is your own path, and you are your biggest enemy, your biggest roadblock, and your biggest demotivator. It's nobody else around you. You're the one who's in control of your life. You're the one who's in control of your actions. You're the one who's in control of your own knowledge. You pick and choose how much of that knowledge you allow to stay within inside yourself, and you pick and choose on how much of that knowledge you're going to put to use when it's time to put it to use. But you alone are the one person that will stop you from achieving anything that you want to achieve, simply because your mental is not ready to allow you to achieve those things. It took me a long time to get out of my own way. And even to this day, I still get in my own way because I get stuck in my ways and I rest on my laurels. It's not something you need to do. If you want to succeed in TikTok Shop, if you want to succeed in creating content, if you want to succeed in the online sales world, you have to get the hell out of your own way. You are your only roadblock. You are the only person stopping you from achieving what you want to achieve, but you don't realize that because 99% of people don't think that they're the problem. They want to blame everything else around them. They want to blame TikTok. They want to blame the algorithm. They want to blame the product. They want to blame not having free shipping. They want to blame the price. And none of that matters. You can post a million videos on a product that has the best sale in the world, but if you don't get out of your own way and make the content right and converting, you're never going to find the success that you're looking for.
Yep.
I tell people, steal like an artist. Find somebody you can relate to and copy their content. But at the end of the day, copying it word for word or exactly the way that they're doing it, it probably won't work for you because you're not them. That's not your path.
Yeah, I think a big example in July, I was trying so hard with this one product, which is a very good product, very good product. It's the Snowy. They're doing a campaign right now and everything. Like they have 50, I think even more by now, 1,000 sales. And
they're like at 100, I think.
Oh wow.
Yeah, they're moving right now.
Yeah. And so I was just trying to copy someone and she wasn't me. I wasn't her. And I posted 50 videos. I'll admit
Oh
to
my
it.
goodness.
50 videos. I probably made 10 sales, like bad, you know?
Right.
And because I was trying so hard to be her and I wasn't fully copying her scripts, but I was trying to be someone I wasn't because I thought that I was like, I want her success and I just wasn't that person and it was my product and you know, it's not that I don't like that product. I just don't use it. Like it's not something I would use and it showed that I wasn't being myself. Like I was just, you know, and so when I found something I related to, gym clothing and Gym Reapers and OQQ's clothing.
Things you wear on a daily basis.
Yeah, like I wore those shorts this morning during my workout. I was able to just, you know, be myself and promote something like I actually really like. So I definitely think it goes to show like, yes, take inspiration and copy viral videos 100%, but like, you know, try to find someone that you relate to and in the case studies, like still be yourself because that's going to show on camera. If you're trying to be this girly version of, bubbly person, like I'm not that person and it showed.
Right. Yeah, my wife's like that too. We got her those cakes and to see if she can make, some sort of videos on them, but I don't think it's not her. It's not her personality. Yeah. She's a mom and, her thing is probably going to be more or less those types of products. So, but it's very true. Very true. You can't be something you're not. You can't be someone you're not. And it shows people sense inauthenticity, versus someone who's authentically true to what they're talking about. So, and it shows, with the gym clothing, you guys have a home gym. That's a passion, right? You wouldn't have a home gym if working out was not a passion. So the things that fall within gym clothes, supplements, you could probably even get away promoting, it's not Rise. What's the one that Scotty K Fitness promotes? Echo Vision.
Oh, yeah.
You guys could probably do the Echo Vision supplements, their proteins, their pre-workouts and things like that. And probably do really well with them. Right. And the walking pad is an awesome one as well. We have somebody in the community making like $2,000-$3,000 a day live with that thing right now.
Oh, wow.
Killing it.
Crazy.
Yeah, he's killing it. Really cool guy. I think eventually I'll have him on the podcast too. I'm hoping so. But yeah, it's awesome. But finding those passion products is really what it's all about because that's when you can speak from experience. You can sell your experience with the product because you're not unique. Your experiences are not unique to you. As bad as that sounds, they're not. There's millions of other people out there who share those same experiences. It's just your job to put the video out there to get in front of those individuals who share that same experience that you do, to put them into your own shoes, to get them to feel, oh shit, maybe I do need this. There's very subtle things you can do to get that across. Now, real quick, because we are approaching just over an hour, I want to quickly plug a couple of things for you guys, okay? Or for the audience here. If you guys want to join Social Army, I highly recommend joining us because we do a lot. We have an app that gives you higher commissions. We have an agency. I think we're the only community out there who is also an agency. We have a community full of like-minded individuals, over 3,000 active members, and we don't have a free service. It's all paid. So these are people who are happily there paying the subscription to be a part of Social Army to help you become a better person or a better creator at what you're doing. We have an entire A to Z course to help beginners, experienced, intermediate, wherever you are. We have a course that'll help you with that. We have mastermind sessions, and we have live sessions. We have 17 live sessions every week dedicated to helping you guys. And on top of that, correct me if I'm wrong, but have you guys made a case study, or you're making one, right?
We haven't quite
got to that yet? Okay. Definitely think we need to get one in regard to you guys, because you guys are something to be studied for damn sure, especially the whole quitting your job at $300 made. I think that's insane. So I will make sure we get talking about that. If you guys want to do something of that nature, I'd love to. But if you guys have questions and you do decide to join Social Army, reach out to anybody. Maddie, Alex are more than happy to answer any questions that you guys may have. I'm more than happy to answer any questions you guys may have. We go live all the time. We do weekly lives on Wednesdays. I go live Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Next couple of weeks, by the time y'all see this, that won't matter. I go live Monday, Wednesday, and Friday to answer questions and do video feedback sessions. The information's there. And if you guys want to join, there's going to be a link right down below this video, wherever you're watching this, Spotify, Apple, or YouTube. That link is going to be their link. So you're going to be supporting them directly. And if you guys want to follow their socials, any sort of socials that they're comfortable sharing, we will link down below as well. We will not put socials out there or pages out there that they don't want the masses to see, because it just kind of defeats the purpose of them doing well on those pages. But if they want them to be shared, we will make sure to link them down below. And before we jump out of here, guys, did you have anything you wanted to go over maybe that we didn't touch base on?
I did just want to touch on one thing.
Of course.
I kind of thought about today with the community. I've always known it, but I just kind of thought about it. It came to the front of my mind today. Something that I just really like with the community aspect in the Discord and the chat. Of course, everyone's always in there answering questions, talking. Just any time something happens, like if TikTok's bugging and it like crashes and you're like, did my account just disappear? Like people are in there like, oh my gosh, like TikTok's being weird. So that makes me feel really more comfortable. And then another big thing is just, I feel like everyone, like all kinds of people are in there, young, old, moms and dads and like us, like younger 20s people. Like there's just such a wide range of kinds of peoples, and just everyone has goals, and like it is kind of hard to find like-minded people out there, especially on this journey. Like TikTok shop's a lonely place sometimes.
Yeah.
And so it's definitely somewhere where I feel like you will find people like you. You'll find people that have the same goals and kind of live the same life. And I just think that's really amazing that it's just such a wide range that everyone kind of has a spot.
Yep. We're extremely diversified.
Yeah.
And a crazy thing too, ladies, if you're watching this, 70% women inside that group. So if you want a place where you feel like you're going to fit in or find some girls, this is the spot. We do giveaways often. Last night we did a giveaway on our live. We had 1,600 people entered in that giveaway. Not a single man won, unfortunately. But
sorry, man.
You're right. It is what it is. But at the end of the day, we're diverse. There's no discrimination. There's no politics. There's no nothing. You come as you are, and you are as you are. You're going to get the helping hand you need. And that's just what we built this place for. It's not a place for you to come in and find a clique. That's just not what it is. It's not a place for you to come in and get bombarded with politics or derogatory terms or anything of that nature. Now, I got the mouth of a sailor, but that's about all you're going to find, right? We're not in there to offend. We're not in there to do any of that. And that's not what that place is for. It's a place to learn, and it's a place to earn a shit ton of money on TikTok. That's all it's for. So, yeah, you guys, I appreciate you for y'all being here. Thank you for taking the time today. And I'm sorry I was a little late to this due to some unforeseen circumstances, but I really do appreciate you guys taking the time. And I think at one point or another next year, we should do a part 2 and see how well Q4 treated you guys, because I think you guys are going to be a really special case for that. So anyway, to wrap things up, everyone, thank y'all for being here. Thank you guys for showing up today. And thanks to everyone who watches all the way through. I know we can be a little bit long-winded sometimes, but if you do want to join the Social Army, there's going to be a link right down below. And you're going to be joining underneath Maddie and Alex. So appreciate y'all.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you, guys.